Okay, who would win? A Mercedes rear wing built to withstand 100 kilograms of force crushing it, or one Dutch boy? That is according to Mercedes, who think that Max touching their rear wing caused it to be damaged, hence why it looked dodgy according to the FIA. So yeah, these last few hours today, actually since qualifying yesterday, it's been absolutely insane. It's I can't keep up with it, bruv. There's so much shit that's been going on. Twitter has been hectic, and yeah. So if you didn't know, Lewis Hamilton has been disqualified from yesterday's sprint qualifying, which will mean he'll start from the back of the grid for today's sprint race. God damn, that was a handful to say. This all started during qualifying yesterday when Red Bull had suspicions on Mercedes' rear wing. Then at the end of qualifying, Verstappen first checked his rear wing by touching it, and then did the same thing on Hamilton's rear wing. Multiple drivers have examined the cars in the past, but apparently in this occasion it led to Max breaking an FIA rule, leading into a €50,000 fine. Bruv, Perez got fined €200 for speeding in the pit lane in Baku. I'm actually so confused right now. Now, if he broke a rule, fair enough, but I feel like €50,000, it's just way too harsh. And now, because of that, well, Red Bull being very suspicious about the Mercedes rear wing, it led to Lewis Hamilton's car being impounded by the FIA because apparently there was some sort of DRS technical infringement, meaning that during qualifying, Lewis's DRS flap, which is like the flat section of the rear wing which opens on straight lines, was open a bit too much. Now, this wasn't Hamilton's fault, this was perhaps a mistake by Mercedes, but because of that, he's been disqualified from yesterday's qualifying session, meaning that he'll start today's sprint qualifying from the back of the grid. Now, I know the top 10, everyone else doesn't get a point from the sprint race except the top 3, but still, it's going to be very hard for Hamilton to climb up. So I think he'll need some sort of miracle to help him get back into the top 10, to start in the top 10 for tomorrow's race. But I feel like Verstappen's got this championship on the bag at this point. Well, the race, I feel like he's got it in the bag. But unless Bottas punts into him on the first lap, I wouldn't be surprised if Toto Wolff demands Valtteri to hit Verstappen on the first corner, because he's got the inside line into the first corner, whilst Verstappen's got the outside line. But yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, the sprint race. Well, I hope it is. During this time, everyone was waiting for the FIA's decision about Hamilton and Verstappen being penalised or something. Red Bull claimed that Mercedes were arguing that Verstappen damaged the rear wing of Lewis's car, hence why it looked quite dodgy. So in Mercedes' minds, Verstappen did this. So if that was the case, it's either the Mercedes F1 car is extremely delicate or Verstappen is the Hulk. I really hope this doesn't end the close championship battle we've been having all year so far, but I have a really bad sense it will. As much as I would like to see Verstappen win the championship this year, but I don't want to see Lewis lose like this. I want it to get to Abu Dhabi with a very close point deficit between both drivers. But yeah, I guess rules are rules, and Mercedes either broke them or there was something wrong with the rear wing. It's definitely not Verstappen's fault. Verstappen had nothing to do with this. He just touched it. But Mercedes came up with the most shittiest excuse I've ever heard of all time. A 5-year-old can make a much better excuse than a full-on organised team. But yeah, I'm going to watch the sprint race now. And yeah, I hope you guys have an absolute good day. Good night.
2 hours later.
So I just realised I had the most shit time management in the world, and by the time I stopped recording this, the sprint race had already started, so I might as well do a mini sprint race review. I just want to say, Hamilton fast, he went from fucking P20 to P5. It was like an absolute rocket ship. If he can do that in 30 minutes, imagine what he can do for full race distance. Carlos Sainz pulled miracles in that Ferrari. He's now P3 with Leclerc P7. I feel like he might become the number 1 driver next year. Bottas dominated, but I feel like Verstappen is either planning. I think he didn't want to fight Bottas that much because since he's starting second tomorrow, he's got that inside line down into turn 1. So it's going to be quite interesting for tomorrow's Grand Prix. Well, I hope it is. So for the proper time now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, I need a drink.
I'm going to touch Hamilton's rear wing.
Don't you dare. Very expensive.
I'm joking. I try the front wing. Maybe it's 25 grand.